Welcome everyone to Direct to Fun, a AKD production. I am your host, Hunter, here with my co-host, Alex.
Welcome.
So, inaugural podcast day.
Inaugural.
How are you doing today?
I'm great, actually. This is exciting.
I'm excited too.
This has been in the talks, and here we are.
We
have lit the fire.
Lit the fire of creativity.
There it is. There it is. It's a burning passion that we have here.
So a little about ourselves. I'm a graphic designer. I have a degree in graphic design, and I've always just been an artist at heart. Sometimes I have a hard time calling myself an artist because it's like I don't know. I think it's a normal thing for like artists to not have a high self-esteem. So I'm like,
indeed,
I better stay humble.
I think that's what makes it being a creator. Like it's almost a form of humbleness because you need to observe things in a certain way.
Absolutely.
To understand what it is that you need to do artistically.
Mm-hmm. And you're a music artist in your own right.
Sometimes I'll put myself in that category. I feel I'm more on the technical side of music, but I love making music. So I don't know if that makes sense, but that's how I feel about it.
I mean, I would wholeheartedly consider you an artist.
I appreciate that.
And I would be remiss if I didn't mention our good friend Blake.
Of course.
Blake's art on this here t-shirt.
Another in-house artist in many ways. So we got a lot of creators here that do a lot of creative things, and we hope to display that to the world.
Absolutely. So a little about us. We work for American Klassic Designs.
AKD in the house.
AKD. We primarily make t-shirts.
For the most part.
Yes. Now we make podcasts.
And inaugurally.
Mm-hmm. Inaugurally. But it's going to be a fun time. I've heard we've got, as the host of the Direct to Fun podcast, we got company Tesla's in the making.
They're in the making. They're on back order.
They're on back order?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I was hoping to honestly get mine after this.
Directly after?
Right
when the show's
after
done,
this.
Someone hands you the keys?
Oh yeah. No, I'm burning every bridge after this. I've peaked. It's like, I'm done, losers. I got my Tesla.
I did everything I was supposed to do.
There is no more worlds to conquer here. I'm taking my talents to South Beach.
There it is. The decision.
So how's your week been?
Week's been strange, but in a good way.
A lot of changes happening.
A lot of ideas being tossed around, and just trying to find that good space where everything can happen and everybody's satisfied.
Right.
Kind of thing. Yeah.
You're such a people pleaser.
I'm not a people. I think it's more so when I set myself up to do something, I want to do it, and I want to do it well.
Right.
I want to have the opportunity to do it again, even, especially if it's something I love to do. So I'm a me pleaser for the most part, and I hope that me being happy makes other people happy.
Makes me happy.
Well, there it is.
Every time I see
so
your
far,
smile,
everything's working.
No, but it's honestly, it's been an honor working with you,
and you too, Hunter. Like even like I missed you in the Gap. You know what I'm saying? Like when you were here, then you were gone, but now you're back.
Now I'm back.
And they put us in a room together. I don't know what they were thinking, but now we're in a room together, and we get to do our jobs and come up with cool ideas and have a great opportunity to execute those cool ideas.
Absolutely.
In all kind of aspects too. It's like visual, audio wise, writing and everything. So
yeah,
this is a great opportunity, and I'm happy to be here, especially with you.
Happy to have you here.
Oh, yeah.
One of the things that I've really appreciated about working with the first segment of this podcast is complimenting each other.
Okay. It's full on flattery going on here.
The main thing I've liked working about you, or working with you, is I'll have like all these ideas, and it's very seldom that I have someone that's like, yeah, do it. I'm like, wait, no, you gotta
push back, man.
You gotta be apprehensive at first. Like, you can't just say do it. You can't just say my idea is like a good one to do.
All ideas are good ideas, bro.
Well,
all ideas are good ideas. Like, you gotta when you have the idea is I think is your due diligence to at least try to attempt it, and then figure out maybe this wasn't a good idea, or you know what, I'm glad I did this. Like, don't leave yourself in limbo wondering, was it a good idea?
Right.
Just try it out, hash it out, see what happens.
And I think, especially as like creatives, like I can't speak for you, but for myself, like putting yourself on display for like, because that's, as artists, that's what we do. Like, we put our stuff out on display for judgment of other people, and art is so subjective. You know, it's, and being a graphic designer for a t-shirt company, you're like literally paid to be a people pleaser. It's like you have free reign of creativity. They're like, oh cool, here's this big awesome design I've made you, and they're like, this is not at all what I wanted. It's like, but you said I had like free reign of creativity.
Art declined.
So if anyone in this room is a people pleaser, it's me. But I get paid to be a people pleaser.
Your job is to please people. That is for sure. Like, you get a check because you got to please people.
Do you think Vincent van Gogh ever did a commission and he's just like, here's this piece that took me 12 hours to paint the rough draft on, and they're like, okay, I like the direction, but let's go in a different direction. So he throws that away, and he's like, okay, and then he like labels it Art Final 1, and then they hate that, and he throws that canvas away, and it's like Art Final 2. I think that was the precursor for
a lot of art that wouldn't be out in the world if the world worked like that.
Oh my gosh, I think that was the could you just imagine? I don't think some people realize that, like, especially like my area of design, it's like I hand draw, dude. It's like there's no like make design, but well, there is nowadays, but there's like
sure.
There's no like make design
text
button.
to image is out there, bro.
Text to image is certainly out there. Oh my gosh, but like I don't think people realize how many like times you have to start. It's just sometimes it's better to start from scratch than to try and salvage one thing.
Sometimes, and sometimes when you start something, it's, you know, like, and if it's not going the way you want it, you can always just kind of push it to the side, like come back to that, because you might just not be in the right headspace for that particular thing, you know, like. So I'm a firm believer in don't throw anything away. If you create it, don't throw it away, because you don't. Well, number one, we can't determine what other people are going to be drawn to. Right.
Like I said, art's subjective.
Because we might see something and be like, that's trash, you know, but someone else might say, oh, that's really cool.
Right.
Like,
we're always our own worst critics.
For sure. There's been plenty of times, like when I'm working on music, and I'll have something that I really don't want anybody to hear, and then somebody may walk in the room like, hey, what's that? And I'm like, oh man. Here you go.
Now I'm gonna have to kill you.
But then it ends up they'll do something to it or something with it, and I'm like, I would have never thought of that. I appreciate you noticing things. You know what I'm saying? So don't throw anything away. If you create it, it's for a reason.
Absolutely.
You might not know the reason, but it'll show its face at some point.
Absolutely. I've started paintings before, because I also like physical media. I've started paintings before, and I'm like, God, this is trash. And then I'll like put it in my closet for weeks to months, heck, even a year. And I'll revisit it one day, and I'm like, this isn't that bad. It's like you got to let it marinate for a second.
You got to let your art come out the closet.
Oh, yeah. That's 2024. It's time for the art to come out of the closet.
Come out of the closet. We accept you.
We accept you. Except for you. And then you point at like...
Don't ever come out of the closet.
You point at like abstract art, and it's like, you should stay in the closet.
This is where you belong.
Do you think Andy Warhol, like... I think it was Andy Warhol, the can of soup guy. Like, he had like all the paintings of like the suit.
Oh yeah.
Do you think he was just like looking at like a can of soup one day and was like, "That's it"?
I think he was really hungry one day, and all he had was tomato soup, right? And then as he was eating the soup, he's looking at the can like, I should draw this, and then. Voila.
And he liked it so much, he just repeated it.
This is like, let me do different versions of this thing.
Oh, man. This is my magnus opus, a can of chicken noodle soup.
This is going to change the world.
This painting of soup is going to solve world hunger. It's like, are they going to eat your painting? What's going on? right. So today's topic is something that honestly quite a few people have in this building have incorporated to their work. I know a lot of the artists have, or by a lot, I mean one or two. But we're going to be talking about AI today, artificial intelligence.
Artificial intelligence.
Yeah. So I've written down a few quotes here. And this is from techjester.com. AI has greatly improved our lives by making tasks easier, solving complex problems, and driving innovation. It enhances healthcare, boosts efficiency in everyday activities, and supports environmental and educational advancements. By augmenting human potential, AI has created a more connected, safer, and sustainable world. Then we have some headlines. AI overthrows cat videos as the internet's top obsession. It's like watching a Roomba try to solve a Rubik's Cube. You know it's impossible, but you can't help but root for it. You want to know the funny thing about those two things?
What?
I used AI to make them.
That's the whole point, right?
Those are totally fake websites.
Find me great quotes.
Yeah. But yeah. So as a t-shirt company, sometimes we're like, it's easier for us to type into AI to at least get a foothold of
for sure
where the client wants to be.
Yeah.
I know, shout out to Craig. He uses AI all the time for a lot of his Florida Key designs.
Okay.
So we do things like for certain companies that I will mention if they sponsor us.
But sponsorship is important, by the way.
They don't get a free shout out right now. But he's learned to master this thing.
Yeah.
Like he'll type in I want a seagull above a horizon watching the sunset. And sometimes he'll get trash, but he's learned to edit the prompts to where he can finagle it.
Yes, my sister made a point to me. I had met her at this event, and she was like, "What were you doing this morning?" I was like, "I was working with ChatGPT, and I'm learning how to communicate with it." Right, so it's like, that's kind of like programming. It's like you're teaching yourself how to communicate with ChatGPT, yet ChatGPT is also learning how to communicate with you. Like you're constantly using different words to get different results, and it might be to tweak something, or maybe you want something totally new, because ChatGPT could be very random with results if you keep typing the same thing in over and over and over. So it's definitely a learning process for both sides of it.
Right.
It's like, since I've been using ChatGPT, and it's let me learn way more about AI than I've ever would have done just on my own, because it just starts suggesting, hey, you should try this bot, you should try that bot, you should try this, and you should try that. And I'm like, I would never thought of that. You know what I'm saying? So it shortens research time a lot. It's just a lot of things you can do with AI that would normally take a full team of people that you would have to overpay to get a job done. Now it's just like you come up with a scheme and you can plan it all out right there on your laptop.
On your phone even
on your phone, on the go.
Has there been any innovations in the music world with AI?
Oh, for sure. Like, a lot of people are nervous about it because now a novice can literally take a 2-track file and have AI give it a master, right? So usually you would, in that aspect, you would have a mix engineer, and then you would have a mastering engineer, and they would do some EQing and some processing that would give you that final result. Now, if you're a bedroom producer, you don't have to do that. Now at some point, the more success that you have, you might want to start seeking professional help. But like, starting off, like, AI is the best thing for startups. Like, you don't have to have that big financial budget to come up with your overall product. You can really do everything right there in front of you and be happy with the results, and a lot of your customers will be too.
It's funny, like, Okay, so an example of AI in graphic design, which weirdly enough is a hot button topic. Like people in the graphic design world hate it. They're like, it's going to take our jobs. And it's like
impossible. It's literally what it's doing is learning what you do.
Right.
That's it. Like if someone references you and what kind of art you make, AI will find it and say, "Here, this is what he does." Right. So the more art you do, the more references you have, and then now next you know it, everybody's typing your name into something. Like I think we
make it look like Hunter did it. Yeah.
Yes. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I think the fear kind of makes people come up with scenarios, right?
Right.
People can create their own propaganda when it comes to new things because they don't want to change because they've gotten comfortable, right? But so the uncomfortableness of AI makes people panic.
Right.
But AI can only do what we show it to do. You know, AI I don't think is the proper term for everything that's going on in technology.
I wouldn't even consider it like artificial intelligence.
It's not really artificial. I think it's just a good promo name for what people use because it's more like machine learning.
Yes.
It's only learning what we put out into the world.
Right.
It's not going to go beyond that.
The only people who are, and I've said this before to you, the only people who are at risk of losing their job to AI are the people who refuse to use it as a tool.
Yes.
Because it's a tool for your toolbox.
For sure. And you can apply it to so many different things that normally you would have to have an abundant amount of resources, right? But whether you're cooking, whether you want to draw something, whether you want to come up with videos, whether you need a speech in a hurry, whether you need even like legal documents, right? Instead of you having to pay a lawyer a crazy amount of money just to do some kind of agreement for a rental property or, you know, whatever, like, or work for hire or something, like you can just do it right here, reap the benefits of it, and then go on with your life.
It's crazy. It's like outsourcing has never been easier and you don't need to have a human.
Yes.
So I'm extremely ADD. And when I first came back to for those of y'all who don't know, probably majority of people, I left AKD for about a year and I came back. Sad times. But when I came back, the design department had implemented templates for the customer to see because we would previously just send like, here's the art, and it would just be a screen of the art. Not bad by any means, but it's more professional and crisp to put it on a template. Well, I would forget to put things on the template because you need like the size of the art, what kind of Pantone colors we used. So I was like, well, I bet you I could code a script for this. And when I realized it was past my expertise, I went to ChatGPT. And it was like, it's so funny because at first it was like, I'm afraid I can't help you with this. And I'm like, can you try? And it goes, okay. And then it just wrote it out. And sure, it took like a couple times of being like, that's not what I want.
That's called programming.
And it's I mean, and now like all the templates I use are completely automated.
Yes.
And it's made my life easier. I know it's like made the salespeople's life easier because they don't have to tell me you put it in wrong.
Yeah.
I still put things in wrong, but like but as far as templates are concerned, I've mainstreamed it for myself, and it's all thanks to AI.
Yes.
And it's like AI art is really just the tip of the iceberg.
Oh yeah. It's definitely just we're just in the beginning. This is all new.
Yeah.
It's all new. Now the idea of it's been forever, but like now that it's tangible for everybody to get into and try out, like things are happening rapidly.
Super fast.
Like rapidly, like, you know, like what would you normally take a very extended amount of time is like within a day's time now.
Yeah.
Sometimes even within the hour, you know what I'm saying?
And it's like, it used to be like, I mean, you and I have talked about the Will Smith eating spaghetti video. Like
for sure, yeah.
That looked horrible.
Yeah, it was freaky but entertaining at the same time.
But look at it now. My friend Brandon, who's another, he got his art degree from Troy, where I went. Shout out to Troy. Please stop asking me to give you money. Our transaction is done. I'm no longer a student. He taught a course on AI and implementing that. And he would use it to make these amazing videos, stuff that it would look like you need like a multi-terabyte render farm for. And he just did it on his web browser. And that's insane.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Creativity. Do you like fun? Do you like podcasts? Because everyone and their mother has a podcast nowadays. We only thought it right to do our own.
And here we are. DTFing it up. Direct to fun, y'all. DTFing it up, baby. I mean,
that's no, we're keeping it.
What else do you need, right? We'll get more serious if we get more subscribers.
I don't think they want us to be serious.
Yeah. I mean, I only said that for sales. So,
yeah,
you're going to get what you get. We're here for fun. Welcome back.
Welcome. So I got a few questions for you.
Let's go, man.
And
let's see what happens.
Feel free to expound upon any of these. These are meant to have fun. Obviously we want to express creativity, but like just let your mind flow on these.
Well, that's a dangerous thing you're suggesting here, bro.
All right, so we've already kind of talked about this a little bit, and I'm pretty sure I know your opinions on it.
Are you sure?
Actually, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like to keep you on your toes.
Yeah.
Man,
no, I appreciate it. You should absolutely just gaslight me into thinking that like you have a totally opposite opinion.
I might do that. I might throw a couple of monkey wrenches in your game plan.
There we go. We should just do an episode where like we state the exact opposite of what we actually think. Just make ourselves look like terrible.
I don't want to walk out of the room, forget who I am, but I'll try it.
That's my goal.
I'm gonna unprogram you.
Anyways, first question: do you see AI as a threat to modern artists?
No, it's a tool. It's a tool. If you're a modern artist, AI will correct any type of blocks.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion, I think like when you get into a space where you're creating and all of a sudden you're like, oh, I don't know where to go from here. Right. You can just go into AI. Hey, I'm working on XYZ and I'm trying to get to ABC. Like, what are some suggestions?
Right.
Boom. Instant inspiration. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't have to sit on things. Now, sometimes you might want to sit on things, but sometimes if you got a deadline, right, and you need to come up with some ideas, AI.
Yeah.
Right. And that's anything, whether it's scripts, whether it's videos, whether it's paintings or photos, even audio, bro. You can literally text to song. You can type in, I want a song that talks about, and I want it to be country, and I want rock drums behind it with 808 bass, and it'll create it. Right? Some of it's gonna sound amazing. Some of it's gonna sound like trash.
Some of it may be good. Some of it may be trash.
And there's there's scenarios where people are creating AI that's strictly. I said it backwards. That's music that's strictly AI created, right? And it's charting. And I want to say there's a Japanese movement where most of their top 20 hits are all AI generated. And nobody knows it.
Daggone.
That part can be scary,
right?
Because basically what happens when you have these big corporations and they want to kind of mine their product, right? They'll pick an artist, be like, I need 20 songs just like this, but I need the artist to look or sound this way.
Right.
They can do that. That's the unfortunate part. But I feel like it's up to artists to also like wield that same power, right? To kind of debunk what's real and what's not real. That's how I feel about using AI if you're an artist.
I think you're exactly like, I think what AI does, or one of the main things it can be helpful for is like get you past that creative block.
Yes. Cause
it's like, I've had moments where I'm like, I want to draw. I don't know what to draw. And sadly, for a lot of people, when I don't know what to draw, I just do self-portraits. So it's
Is it always the same self-portrait when you get into that space, or do you like do different renditions of yourself?
Have you seen the episode of Seinfeld where Jerry is on the couch in his boxers and socks, but nothing else?
Yes.
Yeah, that's mainly what I do. But no, I'll be like, I want to draw. What should I draw today? And it'll like give me like outlandish stuff. It's like, draw a monkey riding a seahorse, and I'm like, that's stupid, but I love it.
It's interesting.
It's like you gotta kind of like allow it to be stupid.
Yes,
and
for sure.
It's
the more fun it is, the more you kind of lean into your creative side. You know, like when it becomes so serious, it's just like, oh, you get all corporate in the brain, and it'll limit you a little bit.
Yeah. And that kind of leads me to my next question is like, do you think we need AI in moderation to the human element? Because
I think that's a case by case scenario,
right?
You know, like there's a lot of things, and if we're just talking about art, like I think it's just a matter of what are you trying to do, you know, like
right.
Sometimes I don't really need inspiration if I want to make something musically, right? But sometimes I might want to, I would like to use different instruments or come up with something like a bridge or things of that nature, and I can go to AI and be like, hey, this is where I'm at, but I want to take it here,
right?
You know, you can do that. But you know, I don't really know if there's a way to overuse it, because all you're doing is asking it questions that you need to know answers to,
right? I will say, you know, being a designer here at AKD, I've seen like people send in stuff and they're like, we want this on a t-shirt. I'm like, but this guy's got like 8 fingers on one hand. So I think it's an easy way. Like, I think you can overdo it.
For sure. Now, as far as overdoing it, like if you're saturating something
right
to get a result, that's one thing. But like the idea, right? Be a normal person who is not artistic saying, I need something, but I don't know how to describe it to you.
Right.
They can bring you something that they created with AI. You can be like, and you being the artist can go in, and the graphic designer can go in there and be like, all right, let me fix these issues that you have that I see, and then that way I can give you what you're looking for.
Right.
You know, so I think it's just a matter of, it's not do you overuse it, is what are you using it for?
Right. Because there's really no excuse to like not do things yourself.
For sure.
I'm working on just one of the side projects I'm working on, because I'm, like I said, super ADD. I have 1,000 side projects.
Oh, bro.
But it's like one of the side projects I'm working on is I'm making a side scroller video game. I don't know how to script for Unity or any other game engine, so I just like I tell ChatGPT, hey, tell me how to make this, and sometimes it's a lot more involved than I thought it would be. So it's like, I can't just go in this blind. I got to know a little bit,
a little something.
It's going to hold your hand, but you got to ultimately open the door for yourself.
And ChatGPT does not mind telling you, hey, I'm not going to do that. You're going to have to figure that out yourself.
But it's always funny when you're like, can you try? And it's like, okay. It's so funny. Now, kind of a mercy. that
wasn't me this time.
That was me. That was me. As a matter of fact, I'm going to mute this just to be careful. Professional podcast.
Yes, you know, it is our first, by the way.
Yes, of course. Kind of a funnier question, and I want you to be super serious answering this funny question.
Have I been super serious in answering these questions? Because I think I forgot the comic element a little bit.
That's fine.
So this got to be the yin to my yang right now.
This is a hard question.
Okay.
Do you think AI is going to kill us?
I think someone's going to use AI to kill us.
You think so?
Yeah, they're going to come up with like, you know, the perfect way to murder. Right? ChatGPT is going to use all the murder novels and movies out there and come up with the perfect scenario.
Oh no! Could you imagine if like Jeffrey Dahmer had like AI?
It's Dexter all over again, right?
Oh no! Oh man!
I kill for good.
No,
you don't belong here. Let me get rid of you.
I will say, as much as I'm excited for AI, it's as a designer, which I know like that's taboo as a graphic designer to say that I'm excited for AI as art, because it makes my life easier. You can use like vector AI stuff.
Yes.
And it's so amazing. But there's really there isn't any limits to what this thing can do.
No, it depends on you.
Yeah, that goes back to like things being subjective. Like I'm going to use it to like use what to draw. I'm going to use it to like code. Some people can like literally it takes no twisting of the arm to get ChatGPT to do whatever.
Yes.
It's like you could be like, tell me how to like hide from the law, and it's like, I can't advise hiding from the law. And then you're like, could you try? And ChatGPT is like, well, since you asked. It's like it's subjective from human to human. Like I think AI is not evil, or at least as it stands right now, and it's not really AI.
It can't be evil.
No, it can't.
It doesn't have the choice to choose anything. It's not going to do anything unless you ask it to. So it doesn't have a conscious, you know what I'm saying? It's not like literally like gonna deny you anything. It's gonna tell you what it can and can't do. That's it. Right? You can tell it whatever you want. And sometimes you might like the results, sometimes you might not like the results. But it's not out seeking revenge on anybody.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's not like I got a problem with you because you didn't give me full power yesterday. Your computer was only halfway charged up when you turned me on. Like it's not maliciously going to do anything to you. Like
no,
somebody has to be behind that to say I want to sabotage Hunter.
Right.
ChatGPT will go, well, you can try these things. You know?
It's like I like Hunter. It's like, no, you don't. It's like, okay. So it's like, yeah, it's the person behind it.
It's the person behind it. And majority of the time, it's not the tools; it's the people working the tools.
Absolutely.
You know, like I've seen people cut yards with machetes, right?
That's awesome.
And I've also seen horror movies of people kill with machetes. Same tool, different people wielding them. You know, it's
horrifying in both aspects.
It could be. Like I would never want to cut grass with a machete.
That just sounds miserable.
But there's people out there who do it well. And they get paid, and they're happy about it.
I'd rather cut the grass with a toenail clipper. A machete, you're just swinging your arm around. I mean,
it's an art form.
I bet.
If you've never seen it, that's something you should try to look at.
I should try and look.
Yeah, you should definitely Google that.
All right.
Yeah.
Should I just take a patch of grass in my apartment and just wield a machete? And they're like, "What are you doing?" It's like my friend Alex told me.
I'm training.
I'm training for the AI uprising.
We're going to replace the roll on our Mamaki DTF printer. This is a delicate piece of machinery, so in order to get this core off, we have to carefully and respectfully get out of there. I got it. Oh, so heavy. It's just paper. It shouldn't be that heavy. Well, film. Film isn't. Never mind. Look at this styrofoam. My weakness. Poorly tied knots. Is it lunch yet? I may be in my 20s, but my knees are in their 90s. I gotta check the front. Oh, my knees! Ow, my finger. I'm bleeding because I don't floss enough, alright? I hurt my finger!
So this is how it senses the filming. So if you want this paper to come just over there.
And just like that, 5 minutes and one sacrifice to the finger gods later, your DTF printer is ready to go. I kind of want to talk about the silliness of AI, because everything has AI nowadays. Like you don't
That's
need...
how it's advertised.
Yeah.
For sure, yeah.
I saw at Walmart the other day, a rice cooker with AI. It's like, what the heck does that mean? It's like, well, it has a internal timer to know when to stop rice from cooking, so it's cooked perfectly. I'm like, okay, you have a timer. That's not AI.
It's not exactly.
And that kind of
AI.
That kind of like leads me to the next subject. It's like, it's not. I wouldn't say it's artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
You know, it's like we said, it's more of a tool.
It's a tool.
Mm-hmm.
It's a tool. It's not trying to outthink you. It just can gather a lot of information very fast.
Right.
Yeah, at unhuman speeds, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not an artificial thing because it's a word processor with a memory bank.
Exactly.
You know, like it's like it goes out into the world and it finds all the published items on the internet and it's subject for subject puts it in a format that you can digest, and then whether you want to dive into it further or you like, oh, that's enough, I don't need more anymore.
Right.
Like, you know, but it's not coming up with new things for you. Right. It's just taking things that are already out there and presenting them to you in the way that you asked for. Right. Yeah.
I think a lot of people, especially here in the South, we live in the great capital of Alabama, Montgomery.
Yes, we are all Bible Belt around here, for sure.
I feel like a lot of people are like so hooked to tradition that they're like, we don't want AI.
For sure.
We don't like, I've had people come in and they'll like actually scan like a drawing that they did, and they're like, I want it like this. And I'm like, are you sure? Like I can make it better. It's like, no, I want that hand drawn, which I love the hand drawn aspect, just not everyone's hand drawn aspect.
Yes. Yeah. There's a certain group of people I would like their hand drawn aspect. But not all of you.
But when you like scan or give me a napkin, which has happened before, someone has given me a napkin and they're like, I want this on a t-shirt, and it just has like a Sharpie drawing. And I'm just like, I guess I'll scan it in for you, but is this a concept, or do you want like, it was like, no, I want that. And it's like, okay. And then I give it to them and they're like, it's perfect. You know, it's like, I feel like that's a very, very old fashioned way of doing things. Like, even though like that's never been like the industry standard to do things, people like things that are hand drawn. I do too. I really do. But like when it comes to t-shirt design, it's better to use the tools at your disposal.
Yes. Because a lot of people don't think about the application of what it is they're trying to put on a shirt, right? Like, yeah, I see what you're doing. That's cool if you want to put it in a frame or whatever, but you're putting it on a shirt. So you want it to kind of coincide with where you're putting it at, you know, whether it's colors, whether it's not colors, whether it's, you know, certain shapes, you know, it needs to fit a certain way, it needs to go on a certain way, it needs to be applied a certain way. So
exactly,
we're that bridge. Well, we should be that bridge. Sometimes people don't want you to do your job, right? They just want you to take what they give you and put it where they said to put it, you know?
Right. It's like, this hurts me to do it, but yeah, I get paid to.
It looks lame, but that's what you want, so that's what I'll do.
It's so funny, though, because it's like, you do realize you could take your concept, and ChatGPT has a feature where you can upload your picture, and you're like, take this picture of a stick drawing of a horse and a cat eating spaghetti and make it look realistic.
Yes.
And it will do that for you.
It will do that.
And thanks to new innovation in our industry, you know, we've recently made the jump to direct to film printing.
Yes.
It's like, now you don't need to worry about like splitting up screens and screen printings.
Yes. The most, I can't even come up with the words, but it's very time consuming. Right. Just the whole process of screen printing is time consuming, and DTF has streamlined that aspect to a science. Right. Yeah. It's a interesting journey watching when I started here a couple years ago, screen printing, manual printing, and then going into the DTF, like the amount, how different it is and how more efficient it is and how easier it is to turn around product. You know, like that is, technology has done some amazing things in that aspect.
And it's really, you know, I know we're kind of transitioning from AI to direct to film, but you know, it's a conversation. That's how these things go.
They kind of go hand in hand.
They do,
you know, on certain aspects,
well,
right?
It's because I love it because you no longer need to take someone's submitted art and make that as a process print. Process prints are cyan, magenta, yellow, black. You know, you no longer need to split that up into 4 different pieces to print on top of each other. All we need now is a PNG.
That's it.
High-res PNG, please. We'll print a low-res PNG if that's what you give us, but high-res.
High-res is the best res.
But it's interesting because one of the first things we printed was an actual family photo. Yeah. While if that was a process print, that would take forever.
It would look so grainy.
It would look grainy.
Yeah.
Well, we printed this thing and we sent it out and they were like, we love it.
Yeah.
And it's, it's fantastic because that's like I said, that's made my job easier
for sure,
you know?
and the screen printer job easier.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I'm sure.
You know, like especially if it's a low order and you're manual printing that order.
Golly,
That's
yeah.
Whew. Whew.
Back-breaking work.
Back-breaking, arm-building world
Yeah.
right there. Yeah.
Do a few like reverse curls with your squeegee.
Like wrist and
Yeah.
forearm action.
Oh, yeah.
Is yeah. You know that particular job that you're referring to, you know, the amount of colors that were in there, that would be unachievable on the manual press. Like it's no way. It's like I got a 6-head press and you want me to do what?
It's like, give me a Sharpie. I'll draw it myself. Like, I'll sit down in the back before I'm like, I'll sit down in the back drawing.
I'll draw you.
Like, it's like
basically that's what you're doing at that point. So
yeah.
DTF is definitely, if you got a picture and you want on a shirt, DTF is the way to go. There's no doubt about that. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. And that being said, like, there's no excuse to not use AI for that. Because there are tons of free programs that will get you the desired result.
Yes.
You know, it's not going to like replace the what's the word I'm looking for? Replace the consistency of a graphic designer, because you can say like, hey, I don't like that
or even
spec.
the intuitiveness of a graphic designer. Like,
right.
AI is not going to know to correct something unless you ask it to correct it, right? A graphic designer already know, hey, I see all these issues. Let me fix this up for you to make it more presentable. You know, like that's what graphic designers are going to be able to do. AI can't do that unless someone tells it to do that. And then the result might not be what you're looking for. You may have to get in there and like go back and forth with it to get what you're looking for.
Right.
Right. So again, like we were kind of talking about earlier, like it's a tool.
Absolutely.
It's not going to solve your problems. It's going to make problem solving easier.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's you know, hopefully the whole Terminator situation doesn't happen.
I mean, if it does,
that'd be pretty cool.
If it does, hopefully, you know, there's an AI for each side, right?
Yeah. We'll use AI for good.
Yeah, like, you know, see their robot, build a better one, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, but like the representation of AI in movies, that we're nowhere close to that.
No,
nowhere close to
not
that.
even close.
The other day, you know,
well, as far as we know, what is consumer available? Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but like things like Terminator, we were talking about The Matrix the other day, and it came up that I've never seen The Matrix.
Yeah, which is interesting.
I don't have a problem with it. I just haven't seen it.
Yeah, which makes it even more interesting. Like,
would it be better if I just had a hard stance on it? It's like, I can't stand Keanu Reeves.
No, that would make it worse.
I would make it worse.
Make it worse.
Okay,
like
Keanu Reeves is a fun.
Because I've seen people hate on The Matrix, and they made absolutely no sense to why they were hating on The Matrix. Because, you know, a lot of people I think are just very shallow when it comes to storylines.
Okay.
Right? Like, it has to be, you know, they got to have all the bells and whistles to be interested
everything
in
needs a
something.
multiverse now.
Yeah, exactly. Like, exactly.
Like things like The Matrix, iRobot, which are apparently linked.
Yes, they are.
Like,
because of Will Smith.
Will
Who
Smith.
we brought up earlier about
Will
eating
Smith
spaghetti.
eating spaghetti.
Yes.
Full circle. But it's like AI like that does not exist. AI is like here, and I'm only calling it AI because that's what it's widely known as.
That's what it's advertised.
But it's like AI in that aspect does not exist yet.
It does not.
But yeah, it's interesting to see how afraid people are because of all they think they know about AI is that Hollywood aspect.
Yes. They are fearful of the propaganda, not the actual tool.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like calm down, guys.
Calm down.
Calm down.
I'm just trying to make blueberry muffins.
Oh man. But it's been really fun chatting with you today.
Always, brother, like on or off the mic.
Yeah.
Either
Absolutely.
way, like I love this because it's something that I've been wanting to do forever.
You and me both. Yeah.
And then, you know, being roomed with you and just being able to talk it out and be like, you know what, let's just plug up and go.
Yeah.
And here we are.
Absolutely.
We lit the fire.
We lit the fire of creativity.
The the thing that AKD contributed to this podcast
Yeah.
is the fire.
The fire. Also my paycheck.
Indeed.
But if y'all have any questions for us, feel free to comment down below or contact us
Please
on our
fill up the comment section. We want to talk. We want to discuss. We want to be better at this. We want to expand.
We do.
Yes.
And please check out our website. You can also contact us there at goakd.com. If you want merchandise, let us know. We have a few things in the making.
Custom merchandise is also available.
Custom merchandise.
Things that you won't find anywhere but here.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
But Alex, has been a privilege and an honor.
Always, Hunter.
And we will see you guys in the next episode.